Hello, everybody, and Ramadan Kareem. Today's lesson is rocks and soil. Everyday rocks. The earth is covered with rocks, but in many places the rocks are hidden by soil and plants. We can see rocks on the beach, in deserts, or on hillsides. So, rocks can be found everywhere. They could be covered under things like plants, and you could find them in places like the beach, desert, and hillsides. Uses of rocks. People have used rocks to build their houses for thousands of years. Old buildings are often made of natural rocks shaped into blocks. Many statues and monuments are also made of natural rocks that have been cut and shaped. So, we know that some types of rocks, like the natural ones, are used to make houses, like old houses, and you can find them in also statues and monuments. They all use natural rocks from the ground to create other things like buildings and statues, but they usually get reshaped to fit whatever they need it for. So, natural rocks can be changed or mixed with other things to make artificial rocks. So, we also have something called artificial rocks. They are not natural, but they are made from natural rocks but mixed with something else. They usually mix natural rocks with a different thing to create for us artificial rocks. Concrete is an artificial rock. Bricks are made of baked clay, which is powdered rock. So here we have two examples, concrete and bricks. Concrete is basically just artificial rocks, and bricks are actually powdered natural rocks that got baked and made into clay and then bricks. Cement, tires, and pottery are made from rocks. Pumice stones are pieces of rocks that are from volcanoes. We also obtain many materials and precious stones such as diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and sapphires from rocks. So, we can find different things within rocks, correct? We can get precious stones, ones that are expensive like diamonds and emeralds and rubies and sapphires. They're all types of very beautiful rocks and very valuable. And we actual stones, sorry, and we find these stones within actual natural rocks. In order to get the rocks that we use, we often have to dig large holes or pits. Sand and clay. I'm sorry, I can't read that. It says something, but it's a bit blurry. Something rocks easily scooped out of the ground. Large lumps of rocks come from special pits called quarries. Okay, so it is saying that in order to get rocks, we actually need to dig in different places and make holes in order to get the rocks that we want. Sand and clay are a type of soft rocks. So sand and clay are both rocks, but they're a soft type of rocks. They can easily be scooped out of the ground. You can easily remove them from the ground and take them out. Large lumps of rocks come from special pits called quarries. That's just a place where special types of rocks is collected. The lumps are cut from the sides with special saws and drills. Example, granite and marble. In some other quarries, they use explosives to produce broken up pieces of rocks called aggregate. It is spread between railway lines and used to make roads. So we can sometimes try to either take out the rocks by cutting them with machines that have special saws and drills. And sometimes we actually need to create an explosion in order to get the rocks out of their ground. And both of these type of rocks are used for different things. The ones that we sometimes need a machine for are like marble, and the other one is the one that we need to actually remove from the ground with explosives, is called aggregate, and we use it usually for railways, sorry. Mining. Mining is digging valuable materials out of the ground, like iron and coal. Most gold and a lot of coal come from deep underground, and we dig them in mines. Drilling for oil and gas is also a form of mining. Oil and gas are found deep under the ground and in rocks under the sea. So sometimes in order to take rocks out, we can use mining. Sometimes we use mining to take things out of the ground. Usually we mine to take out a certain metal like iron and coal. Also, sometimes they use gold. They take out gold by using mining. And also we take out petroleum and gas by using a special type of mining that goes deep, deep under the ground, and usually sometimes it's found within rocks under the ground, and sometimes it is found under the sea. Glossary. Aggregate. Broken rocks or gravel used in making concrete. Mining. Digging or removing from underground materials with a coal or diamonds. I think that is ore, a rock from which a metal can be extracted. Quarry, a large hole where rocks is dug out of the ground. Okay, we move on to our next lesson. Soil and its importance. What is soil? Soil is being formed all the time. It's made up from rocks broken into tiny pieces by plant roots, water, ice, heat, and cold, and the wind. So, soil is basically broken up pieces of rocks, broken up pieces of plants, roots, water, and heat, cold and hot wind. They all make up soil for us. Soil is found almost everywhere on land. Some soils may be too poor for plants to grow, and other soils are good and grow many plants. These are called fertile soils. So, fertile soil is basically when the soil is good enough for plants to grow in. If the soil is fertile, then plants are able to grow. If the soil is not fertile, the plants won't be able to grow in that type of soil. What is humus and how is it formed? When a plant and animal die, they decay or rot, eventually forming black substance called humus. When a lot of humus is mixed with the soil, fertile soil is formed. The humus provides mineral salts for growing plants. It also helps the soil to hold water, which plants' roots can take up. So there is something in the ground called humus. The humus is responsible for the fertility of the soil. Eventually, after animals and plants die in the soil, humus is formed, and humus is used to measure the fertility of the soil. It tells us how good the soil is for planting other new plants. It gives us mineral salts for growing the plants, and also helps us hold the water for the roots to take up the nutrients to the plant. The importance of soil. Soil is very important because it maintains the food chain and thus life on planet Earth. It is a habitat for many animals. Many of them are very small to see without a microscope. Some like millipedes, centipedes, beetles, ants, and earthworms. Some are larger like foxes, rabbits, and mice. So soil is important for the cycle of life. From it grows nutrients for some animals and insects, and sometimes it's a habitat or home for other smaller ones. Plowing and digging. Fields have to be plowed before planting them. Plowing lets air in, and this process gives air for the bacteria, plants, roots, and small animals to breathe. While plowing, weeds are buried and they decay and turn into humus over time. So, plowing is basically digging up the dirt and moving it around so you can air it out and give it a time to breathe. When you do that, when you move the soil around all over the place from side to side and everything, it gives a chance for the small tiny insects to breathe and for the weed that dies in the soil to turn into humus over time, of course. Disappearing of soil, erosion. Soil is being replaced by buildings, roads, and concrete. We should take care of soil because formation of fertile soil takes a long period of time. So, because we usually take out soil out of the way to make homes for ourselves, to create roads for our cars to move around, and make concrete for sidewalks and everything, soil disappears or moves away. The disappearing of that soil is called erosion. We should take care of soil because making it fertile is very difficult and it takes time. If we keep on moving the soil away, it won't have enough time to sit and become fertile because of humus. Glossary. Fertile, good soil in which many plants can grow. Humus, decay animals and plants which are part of the soil. Decay, to go bad or rot. Weeds, wild plants that are growing where they are not wanted. Thank you. This was the end of the lesson, and thank you for listening.